Ft DarkwingDubb.
What is going on? What a crazy weekend we just had. For those of us that are into professional wrestling, for those of you that'll follow me for professional wrestling, what a weekend we just had. Ups, downs, highs, lows, good matches, bad matches, slow matches, fast matches, matches under 10 minutes. This is all part of what you see in the background, TKO. But first things first, I want y'all to tell me. How did y'all feel WrestleMania went? What was y'all's thoughts on WrestleMania? If y'all watched the Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle podcast, you know I gave it a B-, and I was being generous. I was being generous because night 2 absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, saved WrestleMania. Starting with Oba finish and finishing with Roman and CM Punk. The card from top to bottom absolutely saved all of WrestleMania. So y'all let me know in the comments, what was y'all thoughts on WrestleMania? If I could change a few things with WrestleMania before I get into the topic of today, if I could change a few things is, okay, cool. It's a 2-night event. If they're going to hold up to this, they're going to have to come to some kind of agreement with ESPN and see if they can figure out how they can manage the ads. Because if you cut the ads in half, night 1 of WrestleMania doesn't go by so quick. You know, all the women's matches were less than 10 minutes. So imagine if they cut the ads in half, right? Also, if they're going to keep this format of having 2 nights, you have 6 matches, 2 nights, 12 total. They could easily add a couple more matches. The SmackDown Tag Team Championships wasn't seen on WrestleMania. 2nd year in a row, by the way. No Carmelo Hayes. No Damian Priest. No Aleister Black. No Ray Phoenix. No Ilya Dragunov. And I'm sure I'm missing a few people. Motor City Machine Guns. You know, Tiffany Stratton wasn't there. Just a host of a bunch of wrestlers. You have the roster to put on. If you're going to do 2 nights, hey, 8 to 10 matches a night. But you got to cut the ads in half. At least in half, if not more. If it were me, if I was running WWE, which we all know I'm not, I'm bringing back the WWE Network, and I can do whatever I want to do. You bring back the WWE Network, you get NXTs, PLEs off of YouTube on the network. After that, it's fair game. You bring back the WWE Network, everything else falls into place. So with that being said, we saw something crazy happen at the end of WrestleMania. What is it that you think I'm talking about? It was during Roman Reigns' interview, and the crowd was just going nuts. But why were they going nuts?
Roman, congratulations. Congratulations, Roman.
Roman, question for you. You said
They were yelling, fuck TKO. Yes, they were yelling F TKO. I tend to agree with them, but it's kind of hypocritical, don't you think? I'm not saying for myself because Y'all gonna be like, well, you pay for ESPN. Well, if you listen to the shows that I've done on my channel, the No Cap, or if you listen to the show last night on the Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle, I already had the package. It was just a bundle deal to already have the cat package, and then all of a sudden WWE's on ESPN. I have kids. There's kid shows on Hulu. Of course, there's Disney, and I watch ESPN. So I already had the deal, already had the package. It was just icing on the cake for WWE. But to those that screamed FTKO, kind of hypocritical, don't you think? I tend to agree with you. I do. But it's hypocritical because you're over here screaming, fuck TKO, but you done spent your tax return, your hard-earned money that you work for Monday through Friday, the overtime pay. You probably mortgaged out your house. You probably got a loan. Whatever it is, you gave that money to TKO. Then you have the nerve to say, fuck TKO. At that point, why does it even matter? They got your money. Why does it even matter? They got your money. If it was fuck TKO, you wouldn't have bought them tickets to go to WrestleMania. Maybe go out to Vegas, but you go to other shows. But you bought those expensive ass tickets to WrestleMania. Let's look at this. The average ticket price for WrestleMania, right? The average ticket price. What do y'all think it was? Couple hundred, couple thousand, maybe. Few thousand. No, the average ticket price for WrestleMania tickets was $1,100 to $1,500 per seat. The lower tier, the get-in prices for both nights started anywhere between $300 and $850 a person, while ring-size seats could exceed $30,000. Wow. That's crazy. And then, so for 2-day passes, roughly $300, $850 a piece for 2-day passes, with some last-minute cheaper, lower bowl tickets for individuals going for close to $700 on some secondary sites like TickPick. Premium / ring size seats range from anywhere between, let's just say, $9,000 on the floor to over $30,000 for front row packages. Prices are significantly higher than previous years, marking a record for WrestleMania Las Vegas, despite some slow sales. Yeah. So at that point, you didn't spend all your money to go to WrestleMania. Why do they even care? Why would they even care if you're yelling fuck TKO? They already got your money, cuz. They already got your money. At that point, it don't matter. And then you went to the merch stand, bought all the merch. You done bought their $300-$400 replica belts. You done bought socks, t-shirts, hats, whatever, you name it. And then on top of that, you bought the food. You bought the alcohol, the drinks. You bought all that. And on top of that, how'd you get there? Did you drive? You had to pay for gas. Did you fly? Plane tickets. Mind you, also, where'd you stay? Hotel? That's more money. Friends? Airbnb? It's more money. Las Vegas and TKO took your money, and you're screaming F TKO. As I've said it, and I'm going to repeat it again, it don't even matter. They already got your money. Have fun. Hope you had fun. But yelling FTKO after the show is counterproductive, to say the least. if you're going to do that, you got to boycott something like that. Don't go. Go out to Vegas, have a great time. Don't go buy your tickets to go to WrestleMania. And then the very next day, we're reading on so many social media sites that this guy was speaking at the University of Alabama. The president of TKO, Mark Shapiro, says that he, TKO, has complete control over WWE Creative. I repeat, Mark Shapiro, the TKO president, has confirmed at the University of Alabama that TKO has complete control over creative. So I'm going to pose this to everybody. Is this why creative has been shit? Starting with WrestlePalooza, is that why it was been shit? Because we got a bunch of guys cosplaying as creative control instead of letting the actual guys that and girls that have been doing this actually control the narrative. So here's my question. Do we owe Triple H an apology? Or is Triple H part of the blame? I'm going to say 75%, I'll say yes, we owe him an apology. 25%, no, because I feel like he may have something to do with this. But if they have complete control, does that explain why night one of WrestleMania was so atrocious? I just find it hard to believe, or I find it hard to understand why this company wants to come in and ruin what has been great for the most part. That's what they're doing. They're ruining what's been great. You know, a lot of our childhoods are based off of this, you know, professional wrestling. And it's being ruined over greed. That's what it is, over greed. I've said it on Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle podcast, and I'm going to say it again. There are so many things that we can give Vince McMahon shit over. So many things. There's a whole list of different things that we can give Vince McMahon all the shit in the world over. But if there's one thing that he got right, it's that he didn't price out the families. He understood that the core of the professional wrestling fan base are the families. How do you keep a fan base growing, right? In my case, I found out about wrestling through my father. And now I am a father of a little boy, and he watches wrestling. This is how you keep growing your fan base. He really wants to go to a WWE show. But with today's economy and the prices of these shows, I haven't been able to take them. As much as I want to, I can't take them because it costs too much. To sit in the upper area for where I'm at, sit in the upper area for Monday Night Raw, because we were going to go, it was $250 a person. So $500 would have been for me and for him. He's 6. So if there's one thing that Vince McMahon did get right, is he understood that the core of this fan base was the families, and he did not price out the families. Now TKO is here. They're controlling the creative. They're pricing out the families, And we're seeing more celebrities than ever on the product. There's nothing wrong with a celebrity here and a celebrity there. Hell, I mean, believe it or not, Jelly Roll has done a damn good job. Bad Bunny, damn good job. Hell, Logan fucking Paul, damn good job. But guys like Yo Yachty, Pat McAfee, those guys are not needed. I Show Speed, for the little time that he did get, he showed up, showed out. If you're going to have these celebrities, at least make sure they're going to do right by the business. Logan Paul, I Show Speed, Jelly Roll, Bad Bunny. Those are the ones that, off the top of my head in recent memory, is doing right by the business. But to go back to TKO having complete control over creative, I think this explains why WWE's creative has continuously circled the drain and AEW is catching up to them or has caught up to them. Because, for instance, it's already been shown that WWE has a group of people that watches AEW TV, right? It's already been reported that WWE has a staff dedicated to watch AEW. That's crazy to think of. That is so crazy to think of. They have a staff to watch AEW. I like, what do you say to that? Right? Like, how do you I don't know. But what I'm getting at is why, if you're going to have a staff that watches AEW TV, right? Why not use that to your advantage? Why not use that to your advantage? And what do I mean by that? We saw an unsanctioned match. We saw a street fight, none of which actually looked like a street fight or unsanctioned match. But if AEW puts on an unsanctioned match or a street fight, it's going to be one hell of a bloody fight. I get it. The unsanctioned match was on live TV, but with as short as these matches was, you could have put the unsanctioned match on the actual app for the pay-per-view and moved another match over there. Problem solved. So this is what I mean. WWE has a staff dedicated to watch AEW. So why not take notes? And if we're going to call it a street fight, make it an actual street fight. If we're going to call it an unsanctioned match, make it an actual unsanctioned match. Otherwise, we're just getting crap fed to us as fans. The only way that TKO is going to fix the product is by boycotting. Yes, this whole thing was cool.
Roman, congratulations. Congratulations, Roman.
Roman.
Yes, that whole thing was cool, but is that enough to do anything? Is that enough to, what Roman say, move the needle? No, it's not. So now we understand why WWE has creatively gone to shit. why prices are continuously to go up. It's because TKO is controlling any and everything. And the only way it's going to change is if you hurt their pocketbooks. That's just a little food for thought. I appreciate you guys watching. Y'all find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, also Facebook, all under the name DarkwingDubb. Hey, this was a fun weekend. We are now on the road to Backlash, where it looks like we're going to get Roman versus Jacob Fatu. Is Jacob Fatu going to win, or is Jacob going to acknowledge the tribal chief? We'll see. Until next time, your boy DarkwingDubb is outro. Salute.